That's not my experience, but I think I do understand what you're saying. I think there is a lot of curiosity that kind of floats within that, but no, not that wasn't my experience.
Jenna, do you think the most disrespected person in America is a black man?
I think, to me, or what came to my mind is black women, as well as Muslim women, and I think that we kind of X them out because they are a smaller population. But I think Muslim women in full dress in society get the most disrespect.
Now they only get disrespect outside of the culture, outside of their culture is what I'm thinking.
Yes.
You're saying.
Yes.
Well, that's their culture. I mean, our culture ain't. They're a little different.
But why are they so? But we're America. We're a melting pot, right? So why are we looking at them different? Like, you're already kind of saying that there. It's like I'm saying they're one of the most disrespected, and you're like, well, yeah, because they're kind of different.
Well, we
but
just
their culture disrespects women in general.
Hey, Hoop, you gonna have to
think
let
about
somebody
it.
else talk, my nigga.
But I agree. Like, I'm trying to say, like, Jenna, like, that whole Muslim culture, they're very disrespectful towards women. They don't dude, in Saudi Arabia, women can't even drive. Like, they're just now learning.
I don't look at that as
they can't have businesses. They're very disrespectful.
But to them, that's not disrespect, though. That is their culture. That is their norm.
They're used to that. They're accustomed to it.
They used to that. They used to all of that.
Does that make it okay?
Yeah, it makes it okay.
It is because that's their culture.
That's not our shit.
It is because if you go overseas and people's culture is different, that is their culture. That is what they were brought up in. That is their norm, right?
Valid.
That's just like these Mormons. We can't bad talk them. That's their norm.
Like, I don't think that. I feel the same way as men from the East, right? I don't think that women should be able to operate in my presence with the same level of choice that they would on their own or that they feel comfortable with. Like, even when Q was with me, I had to sit her down.
Just nigga Q.
Even when Q was with me, I've sat her down and practically cussed her out. Like, what is you doing?
Why are you paying for this?
Like, don't ever do certain things in my presence because that's not how we move, right? When my wife, like, she don't just be out doing what she want to do when she want to do it. Like, I don't mean that she don't have choice to do what she want to do, but she automatically defaults to me and trying to make sure that she's making the right decision because she understands that sometimes she don't know what she don't know. Like, she don't even know the danger hiding around the corner for her. So she's a little bit careful on how it is that she's moving because she wants to always ensure that she's creating the best environment for herself. It's in her own best interest to do certain things the right way.
But how do a woman know that, though, Anton? How do a woman know that? Because she can be led by the wrong motherfucker, yo.
Correct.
You
100% correct.
All of a sudden, you a hoe, and I'm Goldie.
No, I agree. But that's the thing.
Those are
like,
facts.
I think that at that point, that's when you got to be self-aware as a guy to just know that it's. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
It's
Even
10% of us, dog.
let me add a little spice to this, right? The women that's the most extra on YouTube today, some prominent, some not. When they was around me, they wasn't like that in real life. In real life, when they were around me, whether they in my crib or whatever, they automatically defaulted and they moved differently. Now, when they got online, it's a completely different conversation. But I think that women inherently just know when they with you, when they around you, they know who's who, and they know how they supposed to move around certain dudes, and then they
absolutely.
And I think we naturally want that. Like, just the other day, my husband and I were talking about something, and at first I was like, we weren't arguing, but I wanted him to take into account what I thought about the situation. I can't remember what it was, otherwise I tell y'all. And then finally I was like, what if I just was quiet and just went with whatever he just said? And for like 2 seconds, I was like, no, I want to tell, like, I want my opinion heard. But then once I just went in alignment with what he said, literally I could feel the stress die down. So I was like, okay, so this is a situation of really like my ego versus like my nature. And when I went with my nature, I was at peace. I didn't have the stress that I would have had with putting my decision on the table, because if I put my decision on the table and I argue it and I win, now I have the stress of making sure my decision was the right one. If I relinquish myself to him, then it's like, hey, you say you got it. I'm good. It actually gave me peace.
Hey, you keep acting like that, you're gonna fuck around and be married for a long time, okay?
Well, and no, like that's wonderful that Carrie even says that, because like she just basically like embodied like a woman's nature. Like I've said before on the panel, generally women prefer to be led, and they have that motherly nature inside of them. And what's dangerous is that we're starting to live in a society that is trying to do role reversal, and that's probably one of the most dangerous things to happen. Yeah. Well, actually, no, Mario, you're right. It's happening. Like it's succeeding, and we're seeing all of these effects that is going to happen. And I keep telling people, I'm like, you guys, this is going to continue getting worse unless strong-minded people just sit there and go like, look, man, like let's just kind of get used to certain things are just how they are. And like I said, I mean, Carrie's I don't want to say this real quick. Carrie's a wonderful person. Like Carrie carries herself very well.
I mean, who she married?
Lay off.
I enjoy Carrie's presence.
It's gonna get worse. To me, I don't see it changing. It's gonna get worse. You're gonna have more crazy stuff going on. Does anybody else want to comment before we move along?
Now I just want to tell him, leave this black woman alone. Jenna's up there. Holler at her, man. Shit.
If they're gonna come after me, Doctor, what's his name? Umar gonna come after me for going after a black lady. But like,
this other cat.
Carrie's, yeah.
What women don't understand is that their superpower is in their femininity. You're never gonna be able to compete with a man.
Superpower.
You're never gonna be able to compete with a man and get him to really, really do what it is that you want him to do by approaching him in the same way like a man.
Like a
right?
man.
If you won't, and this is almost for almost any woman, even a fat, ugly chick, right? If you around her long enough and she just super, super nice all the time, you start like feeling
she ain't so ugly and fat no
more. Correct.
And even my father would say, Anton, don't spend a whole lot of money around no fat chick because you're gonna start to like her. You know what I'm saying?
What?
And that's a fact. That's a great fact.
A lot of money. Don't spend a lot of time around a chick that's completely busted because you're gonna start trying to fix her. You're gonna start feeling sorry. Like women's superpowers in their femininity. And if women learn to then lean into the femininity, you can get anything you want out of a man. You can get this dude to buy you anything.
Correct.
You can get 100%. Him to make sure that he's protecting you. He will make sure that you're taken care of. He will ensure that you ain't got to lift a finger. But it's all in how you want to approach the situation. And even if you know that if you got it, right? You know that you're smart. You know that you can get it. You know that you have great ideas or whatever. It's how you insert yourself into the conversation. Sometimes you don't have to do so, right? Because it serves no purpose based off of what it is that you're trying to get out of it. The goal is what you want from this situation. What do you want them to do? How do you want them to move around you? Okay, so you smart. Okay, so you got to prove that to me every single day? Or do you want to leverage your femininity, and then when it's necessary, then execute. When you on your job, execute. Be smart, be dope. Get that bag or whatever. When you get home, I don't have to sit here and beat on my chest every single time I get home, right? She know who I am. I don't have to do that. And so all I got to do is look, or I got to just say, I'll see her feeling a certain type of way, or I could just tell by the way that she moving across the room, whether she bothered about something. I don't have to sit there and say, go off on her or do that. Sometimes I'll just pull her close and sit her on my lap and say, I know she just want me to show her some affection. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to prove to her that I'm the man every single day. And it's the same thing with women. You don't have to prove to me that you smart or you intellectual or you capable or you can earn just as much. Listen, you can get him to literally go outside and kill himself for you if you actually lean into your femininity.
Correct.
More than leaning into whatever it is that they fucking trying to teach you today in society. Not the move.